What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back to the first. I want to say transfer live, but yeah, we will talk about transfer news as well. But we will talk about everything that has kind of happened today with Allegri news, Juntali news, Super League news, and then obviously some transfer news. Because as we speak, Di Marzio will speak again in a good 20 to 30 minutes. Let's see if he has any updates. Whether you think he's good or you think he's not good at his job anymore. But we will go all over that news in this live. But before we get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and uh, let's get straight into the news. I will start off with. Actually, I wasn't planning to start off with the Super League news, but it's kind of a big thing, so we will start off with the Super League news. And the news is, I think everybody saw the news by now. The club put out a statement, and there, the statement doesn't say we left the Super League idea. The statement says we want to have a talk with the other two teams still in it, quote unquote, and evaluate things. They also added that the UEFA didn't threaten the club to be banned from Europe, because that was the news that came out like an hour before the club put out that statement, that we were threatened by the UEFA uh, to be kept out of Europe for 5 seasons. That was the news that came out. So the club said no, but the club also said they didn't say we abandoned the idea um, of the Super League. They didn't say that at all. They basically said we want to have a talk and blah blah blah. All the usual stuff you'll get with these statements. Now, the moment that statement dropped, I had two thoughts. First of all, um, the first thought I actually had three thoughts. The first thought that came to mind was, surely you cannot do this, and I will explain why. I think that's why I think you cannot do this. Second thought is, the statement is very strange, especially the first part. And the third part, or the third thing I thought was very strange, was the part where the club absolutely stated the UEFA didn't threaten us, basically, which was shocking because now they can put out statements. But when the media was having a go in Italy, and the fans and Allegri were taking all the heat, the club was absolutely silent. So three things. First thing, when I saw that tweet, when I saw the news, basically, I said that cannot be true, for the simple fact and the simple reason that Agnelli was the face of all this. But to make the decision to basically start a Super League and don't leave a Super League, you need the blessing of Elkan. It's as simple as that. So yes, Agnelli was the face of it, and he pushed it because obviously, like, he was the president, he was the face of the club, but he got the go ahead from Elkan, who makes the final decision. So leaving it now makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense for the club. It doesn't. It really doesn't, because you've been in this for so long. Saying now we're out completely, which they didn't, to be honest, made no sense. That's for part one. The second part is when they stated the club didn't abuse us. I found that strange that they put that in there, because it felt kind of forced. It felt kind of forced, because I do believe the UEFA put pressure on the club to basically say, leave this and we will probably let you off the hook. Maybe no Conference League, but that's good. You know, that's part two. And all these things were strange because the news was strange. And then, like a good hour after, you have the statement of the quote unquote president of the Super League project, whatever you want to call it, or the guy who's responsible, or the spokesman, coming out with a very harsh statement saying they will take the UEFA to court in Madrid again, because the Madrid ruling was that the UEFA was abusing uh, teams, and that's why the UEFA, when I say they, pulled out with the fines and banning players and all those things, because they were not allowed to do so. So the statement read that they will take the UEFA to court again because they have proof, according to them, that the UEFA threatened to basically ban Juve from Europe for 3 seasons. They say, not five, so 3 seasons. They claim they have the proof. They are very confident that they will win this case, and in the European court, where they will basically have the ruling of UEFA is having a monopoly and they are abusing their power. That's what they're waiting for. And that's when I thought back of the statement where the club didn't say we're out of it. They didn't say that. They left the door open. The fact that they also put in the statement that the UEFA didn't threaten us, I thought that was very strange to do. People might say they're playing 4D chess. I think they put that in there to basically save their assets and tell the UEFA, yeah, we're initiating a process of leaving it. They told the two clubs who are still involved, they told the guys who still are pushing for it, and they basically are saying we have proof that they, have put a club under pressure, basically banning them or like trying to ban them based on freedom, basically. That's what's happening. That's what they are claiming. Are they gonna win it? No idea. If is the European court gonna favor the other teams? No idea. Absolutely no idea. Because technically, all the 20 teams who signed up for it are still in because nobody paid the fine to leave the project. So they're all still in it technically, and that's what the statement also read. They're not out of it. But it's a very strange. It's very strange news. It comes out of nowhere, you might say. Maybe the timing is kind of okay, considering that, with all things happening with the agreement about the wage thing, and us qualifying for Europe, if you want to call that qualifying for Europe, all these things come together. Maybe it makes sense, timing wise, that this news comes out now, basically, that we're trying to leave. The UEFA is basically good. That's what the statement is basically saying. Very strange situation, but I still don't believe the club is leaving it. I don't, because that's just crazy. And if they're leaving it, and with all the news happening today, Allegri saying, the guys working for the club now, the club basically making up for the UEFA, then that's points, in my opinion, towards the club potentially being for sale, or a big part of it being for sale very, very soon. Otherwise, it makes no sense. And I will stick with my first thought that they're not leaving it. They're trying to play it both sides now. And that's why that statement came out from Super League saying, we're going to take them to court again because they have abused their power again. And they're basically saying, now we have an amazing proof of it, how they abuse their power. And we're going to fight it again. So that's why it's a very strange situation. And again, the season is over, transfer season opens, and you're going to talk about players leaving, sporting director, coach, and then you have this crap again. The team is in absolutely shambolic state. Like it's as simple as that. And the more I get into today's news, the more you think that we're not a club anymore, or like we're not a big club. Like we're a big club in name, but we're not acting like a big club at all. If you just go off today's news, let me see the comments. It's confirmed that Allegri will stay next season, for example. Allegri didn't say anything. I'll touch on that next. We're a weak club organization for backing down. If we officially have, we are, but I don't think we officially have completely backed down. So let's see. I don't know how such management control by Alcon, who never attached to football or show something love for still man Juve if he can, so sell the club to rich Arabs. Yeah, but the club survived ever since his grandfather passed away. They found a way, but they're messing up now. Like they're messing up, and they're messing up by own default. It's just they have themselves to blame. It's as simple as that. You can point fingers, but at the end of the day, you just need to look at yourself, being the club, and you've put yourself in this mess situation, whatever you want to call it. It's basically as simple as that. But let's move on to the second part of the news, and that's about Allegri, because yesterday evening, Di Marcio said he's gonna stay, and actually, he's always been saying he is gonna stay. Romeo Gresti is not saying that. He's saying, "Let's see." There's nothing. Nothing confirmed. Whatever. He's playing some mind games. Romeo Gresti saying, "Oh, Juve will do what Juve does." I have no idea what that means. Absolutely no idea what that means. So I cannot really comment on that. But Romeo has not said Allegri's gonna say, Allegri's gonna leave. He's just reported the situation, within the club. Basically, that's what he has done. But it's Di Marzio. It's all the newspapers now pushing for Allegri to stay. That's one. But the big news, what I think is big news, is what Nico Schira said and what's coming out from Tutto Sport and what we heard a couple of weeks ago is that people within the club, and I'm not even talking about players now, don't want him to stay. And that's absolutely wild that he's actually potentially could stay when there are a big portion of the people within the club not happy with him. So the news from Tutto Sport is saying after the game in Udinese, someone showed Allegri images of the penalty awarded to Roma, blowing up nerves with subsequent outbursts against Calvo for the club's lack of presence. Now, I do agree with that from Allegri, that the club has been very anonymous in all this, and I ripped him apart because today they had the time to put out a statement and basically say, "Oh, the reports are false." But when the media was shitting on the team, the players, Allegri, for things they had nothing to do with, the club was silent. So I'll go with that for Allegri. But it's clear that Calvo doesn't want him. It's clear that Calvo already made contacts with Tudor, whoever, Italiano, I'm just saying, but especially Tudor. It's very clear that certain players are not happy with him. Certain players that are gone will leave, will potentially leave, are not happy with him. Why are you keeping him? When you see the post games, especially the last post games, the Milan one was wow, and the Udinese one as well, because he was kind of taking shots at the club, saying, "Ask Calvo, he does the job, he does it all." And then today you hear the news, Calvo was kind of done. He goes back to head of marketing. Manna comes in. Maybe we'll get the guy from Milan. Maybe Giuntoli will come in. There is no plan. There's no plan. The plan was get Giuntoli, that failed, which is unbelievable. That you kind of bank your hope on that one guy and then it's still not happening while you're in a rebuild. It's crazy. And then on top of that, you're trying to confirm, or you're confirming Allegri, who has done a terrible job over the last 2 seasons. And don't come at me with, "Oh, he finished third, and whatever last season." Have you seen the state of the clubs around us? Like, actually, have you? Like, have you seen the state of the clubs around us? Last season, especially this season, Lazio were terrible. Milan were terrible. Roma were terrible. Inter were terrible up to the last 4 or 5 games of the season. They're not good. That team we had was good enough to be easily in the top four. Like, it's not a miracle. Like, it's not that he performed a miracle to get this team with points in the top four, because it's not. Like, it's just common sense. The team is better than many teams in around that top four. So it's not a miracle, But the way we got into it with points, that's the issue, because there's no improvement. You see players soaking. You see players not being happy. And then post game, he says, "I have ideas for next season how to basically fix it." And I'm like, no, you haven't, because you had 2 years and you showed no glimpse of an idea. And now, out of nowhere, the season goes to hell. You finally have some ideas. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Ideas with less quality in the squad. Keep that in mind. There will be less quality in the squad, less players, and now he has ideas. Absolutely crazy. I still believe he will not be here because it makes absolutely no sense. Like, that's what I'm basing it on now, because you cannot go forward with him. Even for the players, like, he called out players. He called the team not good enough to win. Like, if you're an owner and you're sitting there and you're like listening to him basically calling out the team, saying they're not good enough to win, and then you go back down to your office and basically say, you can stay, run it back. Like, run what back? Like, there's nothing to run back here, you know? There's things to run away from. And we are not running away from it if we keep him in a job. It's basically simple. So do I have news that he's gonna leave? No. Like, it's just it's just common sense that needs to prevail here. Like, it sounds like a weird thing using that for this club in this moment in time, but you cannot keep him. Like, you just can't. You know, you have Vlahovic being unhappy, leaving, money, no money. He wants to leave as he stays. If he stays, even if he didn't need the money, he will ask to leave. Di Maria was not happy. Chiesa, he's not happy. You know, people can say whatever they want. He's not happy. And then you have Di Marzio news coming out as well. Alexandro could leave. And I'm like, why the hell did you play him for automatic renewal? Why? It's not that he has added to the cause, that he did good things. He was crap. Like, he was absolutely crap. So I still believe he's gone. I still believe he's gone. Because how can you work in this culture with, even if it's your head of marketing, whatever, there are people within the club that don't like you, that don't want you to be at the club. You have players not happy with you. The results are not there. You have him saying post Milan, this team is not good enough. If I wanted to win easy, I went somewhere else. And you have Chesney saying it's not okay that we're not winning. We're good enough to win. Like, how is that gonna work? Like, how are you gonna, walk up in preseason and basically tell what are you gonna tell the teams? Let's try to win, because they saw they saw you calling them bad enough. So him coming out and be like in training, we'll try to win. That's very fake, because he said they're not good enough to win. And what else is he gonna say? We're not good enough to win, but let's go again. Because then you have Chesney turning around, be like, we're good enough. We can compete. Why are you saying this? So I don't know. Like, again, no news that he's gonna leave, but just in my opinion, it makes sense. Like, gone. Will you take Maldini as sporting director? No. Your face is in this moment reflects a concern of you. We feel right now everything feels really wrong. It does. It absolutely does. Sandro, Quadrado, Bonucci, and Allegri will stay. The team lacked ambition. Seems like mediocre is good enough from now on. Yeah. Remember in oh my God, Jesus Christ! I opened the, because I'm not watching Sky, and the news is that Juve are interested in Lucas Vasquez, according to Romeo Greci. Like, these are the things that, don't do it, but whatever. I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I'm, why is it not on? But yeah, remember in January, or like, no, not in January, in December or November, when the World Cup started, we were on that purple patch, whatever you want to call it, and I said, let me see, and I said, this is not sustainable. It's not good enough, And I came on, and I've always said I'm happy about the result, but not the way we moved, because it's not good enough. It's not sustainable, and it turned out not to be sustainable. That's what I need. Do I think this team is good enough to dominate the league, go far in Europe? No, but they're good enough to not be dominated in the league or dominated by Maccabi Haifa. That's all I said. That's all I said, and when we did it. Let me tweet out the news. 1 minute. if we, oh, Jesus Christ, players like Lucas Vasquez, then you can better wrap it up, for next season. I'm sorry, guys, because I cannot watch it. I cannot listen to it. Wow, I'm on, so I just need to do it on the fly. But Lucas Vasquez is linked with us, according to Di Marzio. According to him, we already made contacts with him, which is wow. I think he's like, how? Let me know in the people in the chat because I cannot look it up. I think Lucas Vasquez is like 31, 32. I don't know. I think he is, so it makes absolutely no sense. I don't think it makes sense, but let me know in the comments. I cannot look it up. I believe Allegri will say 90% for next 2 years. Oh my God. That's crazy. Ciao, Jeremy. That's been a while. Do you think it's a bit early to judge the club based on the things confusing reports? Keep contact. Maybe not. Maybe you're right in the sense of maybe it's too early, but am I wrong to react like this based on what's happened the last couple of weeks, months, years, whatever? It's it seems like it's more the direction I'm going in than maybe but you can be completely right. Like it can be completely conflicting stories, but certain things are not conflicting. Like, the club not being happy, or like people within the club not being happy with Allegri, and then there are still reports that other people want to keep him. So it already is a divide in the club within a new run or new quote unquote era. There's already a divide in the club, so I don't see how that's gonna work. Like I cannot see any positive things in it. That's my issue. Let me see. They met with Sassuolo today for Fratesi. We will not improve. You're right. Lucas Vasquez is old, mediocre player. Yeah, it sounds like pain. I don't believe for him for Lucas Vasquez. Like we cannot be in. Like people, can anyone, excuse me, look up how old Lucas Vasquez is? Surely he's like 32 or 31. Surely. It makes no sense. Like it makes no sense. But they held talks with Sassuolo for Fratesi. What do you think about Fratesi? Because I saw the asking price is 30 million euros. I think that's too much. I think that's too much for a player. From what I've seen from Fratesi, I think that's too much for the situation we're in. Let me see. Sorry, guys, getting the news out. You're right. Are you kidding me? Vasquez makes total sense. Free old wash. Damn, you got me in the first half. Don't like Fratesi enough of this mentality of Italian, just Italian. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Allegri requested Vasquez. It sounds like Julian texted me a minute ago when he saw the news, and he said Lucas Vasquez is a worse version of Quadrado, and he might be right. Like he's terrible. Again, can somebody tell me how old Lucas Vasquez is, please? Oh, he's 31. Thanks, Ishai. Oh, okay, he's 31, so I was close. I said 32, 31. We're not going to do that. He's 31. That sounds like a Kostic type of signing, only I knew Kostic was going to give us output in numbers. Vasquez is not going to give us anything. Let me get that out. if we have, let's say we buy Vasquez, even if it's for 6 mil, we're wasting money. We're not serious. We're absolutely wasting money because he's 31. You're gonna give him a 3-year deal on like 3.5, 4 million euros. What's the point? Like, what's the point? So that's we're not gonna do it. Like, I refuse to believe we're trying to sign Vasquez because age, wage, it makes absolutely no sense. Like, you did it with Kostic, you cannot do it again now. Like, it makes absolutely, if you want to build something, it makes absolutely zero sense. So that's a player Roma would sign. That's a player Lazio will try to sign. That's not a player we should be trying to sign. And excuse me, I get we cannot sign 50 million euro players. We cannot do that. But be smart. Don't waste a single penny, euro, whatever, dollar, pound on any of these players. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. So I refuse to believe it. Jesus Christ. I hope and pray someone comes in and buys out Juve. I think that's a big part will be sold soon. Jan is saying, already see people hyping up Vasquez online. Dear Lord, some people have zero ball knowledge. I hope I don't not come across these people. It's obvious the ship has no run all of those months. They should have a direction in place, and now they still don't. Yes, I agree with that. Juve is interested in 2 play, one from Leeds, Gnonto, and the second is why. I saw the Gnonto links, but as of now, I think it's a very easy link to make. I don't think we're in for him. I think more Inter. Historically, we have always made deals with pension. Yeah, but it shouldn't be happening now. Yeah, I don't. I don't hate Quadrado, by the way. I just don't rate Quadrado. I don't hate any player. I just don't rate players. That's all. Grimaldo's 27 and way better. I'm free. Keep that in mind. He went to Leverkusen, or he will go to Leverkusen. But yeah, he's younger and free. So, but that's what we have done in the past. We cannot do this now. If other news comes up, I will link it. I want to talk about Giuntoli really quickly because apparently Manna was already in the Sassuolo office today talking about Fratesi, so we can assume this is not going to happen, or not now, or not mid transfer market. Maybe at the end of the transfer market, probably next season. But the news is from Tuttosport, and actually from every source, saying that De Laurentiis is not letting him go now, even though Giuntoli said, I will give up my bonuses, wages, blah, blah, blah. De Laurentiis wants Juve to come forward and speak with him directly. Well, that's never going to happen. So that's absolutely never going to happen. So you can cross that off, unless De Laurentiis wakes up tomorrow and is like, you can leave. Giuntoli is not coming now. And I'm not even saying, oh, I need Giuntoli or we need Giuntoli. He will be amazing at his job. We cannot say that. I cannot say that. No, because maybe it's a complete flop. I don't know. The point is, if it's Giuntoli, if it's, I don't know, a guy named Peter from New York, I don't care. He was your main target. You banked all your hopes on him, and now it looks like a disaster. That's the point. And again, it's not about Giuntoli. It could be Peter from New York, sporting director from, I don't know, New York Red Bulls. Whatever. It's the principle of he was the main target, and now you look like fools. That's the biggest issue I have, because again, planning wise, it looks bad. It looks terrible. If we be completely honest, it looks absolutely terrible. One more time, because now out of nowhere you're telling the under 23 sporting director, hey, you're gonna need to do the deals for us this summer. Out of the blue, basically. He was probably trying to get new under 23 players up to 2 weeks ago. Now he's trying to plan to build a squad for the first team. Like, it's absolutely mental. Like, if you think about it, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy if you think about it. Actually, the more I speak about it, I cannot believe this is actually happening. me see. Um, Sorry, guys. I was reading. Excuse me. It hurts to think we keep Allegri and lose Vlahovic and Chiesa, maybe. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, can we think about the future? Well, if you're gonna sign players like Vasquez, you're not thinking about the future. I think that's very obvious. No, isn't? You cannot even be linked with these type of players. Like even asking for information is already wrong because that means your mind is not in the right in the right direction. Like you're thinking old school, and with old school I mean 2 3 years. Like your thinking hasn't changed. If you're in for Lucas Vasquez, even if you're not really in, but you were like, let's ring up Real Madrid and his manager. Let's see, is he open to leave? Are Real Madrid open to sell? Obviously, they're open to sell because they're not idiots. That's already a big, big warning sign. If that's actually crossing your mind, not even signing him, but just the fact that it could be crossing your mind, it's a big worrying sign. It is. That's just my opinion. It's unbelievable. So that's why I'm gonna say I don't believe it because that would be absolutely wow, like wild stuff. That's again a player Roma would sign, Lazio would sign. It's not a player we should be signing. Um, can we ever hope for a plot twist next season? Allegri sack, Chiesa and Vlahovic 72 goals combined, Fagioli 18 assists. It's not a plot twist. That's a dream. If you keep Allegri, you're not gonna sack him mid-season because why would you? Because you know what you're gonna get into. Like why would you not start fresh in the new season? Instead of praying and hoping it will improve. If not, let's see, try to fix it mid-season. Like if he's gonna start the season, he's gonna end it as well next season. Like if the club thinks the last 2 years were good enough and they backed him, in the third season they're not gonna sack him. They're just gonna keep him, and he's gonna do whatever he's allowed to do by the club. Basically, we're looking pretty weak financially. If we have to take the under 23s director, honestly, 9 times, where's the money of Ronaldo? That's my worry. That out of nowhere, the under 23 sporting director is doing the deals for the first team. It's again, the more I think about it, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. What do you think about Fagioli answering the random Twitter guy insulting our midfield? Funniest news today. I don't think that's the real Fagioli Twitter account because I've seen that account post other things very early in the season, and then they changed the tune. So I don't believe it. I don't think he's that stupid or like that weird to do that because you know what's gonna happen. Or stupid. I don't want to call it stupid, but like be that open with his thoughts on Twitter because Twitter is, as you know, wild. Let me see. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. By the way, please like the video, subscribe. I'll go on for a few minutes more because there's no news. Fratesi, I asked about Fratesi. Let me know in the comments what do you think about Fratesi because it's not just us. It's Inter and Roma. And I thought I thought it was Sport Italia I was watching last night. It was Sport Italia because the Sky Sports show ended, and they said that Inter were leading the race for Fratesi because Marotta has a great relationship with Sassuolo, as we know. Um, do you think we should be spending 30 mil for Fratesi? Because the same um source basically also claimed that we have an agreement with Milinkovic Savic and he could leave for a price or a fee close to 35 million euros. So would you rather keep or would you rather spend money on Fratesi or Savic? Maybe that's a wild question. But what do you think about Fratesi? Because 30 mil is a lot of money. Like spending 30 mil on Fratesi, in my opinion, is crazy. Is absolutely crazy. Um, I'm so over the owners of Juve. They are in the elite 300 families on the planet, but can't even run a football club. Please just sell, so we can prove on. If you put it like that, it's indeed crazy. Like it's indeed crazy because the power they have, the money they have, the influence they have, and they still get screwed over by dinosaurs in the FIG, you know, FIGC. Excuse me. They're gonna get they're being backed in the corner by UEFA. Um, it doesn't feel like they're holding a lot of power, does it? It feels very everything is on the fly, and it feels very weak. It feels like Allegri said, very anonymous. Like I've been saying, it feels like they're not really involved. And I think ever since the real owner of this club passed away, sadly, things changed. The influence, the power, the appeal, it's not the same anymore. It's not the same. And I don't think Alcon is, because Alcon doesn't put his, I've said it weeks ago, when we hear from Alcon, it's never via the official club, social media, Twitter, website, whatever. It's always via a random newspaper or a random journalist. It's never actually for the fans at the club, where he doesn't interview one on one or any of those things, or like actually leaves written statements on the website. It's never like that. It's very strange. Like I find it very, very strange. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna wrap it up because it's 40 minutes in. It's transfer season. Tomorrow, Julian will drop a video on what he believes the coaching options are and which one are the best, because we're still going to do it, because we still believe there's a chance Allegri's not going to be the coach. There will be a daily and it will be live, same hour as today. Thanks everyone for watching, because at one point there were 60 people again, which is good because we skipped a lot of lives during the season because we were very busy. But it's transfer season. That means at least 2 videos a day plus a live almost every day. So stay tuned, like the video, subscribe, hit that bell notification to get notified when we will be live. And thanks everyone for watching. Let's see tomorrow which news you will have. Maybe the Vasquez thing will already be denied by Romeo Cresti or whatever. Maybe you will have some news on Allegri actually staying, yes or no, or Scamacca signing. Who knows? Let's see tomorrow. Thanks everyone for watching. And yeah.